What up, everyone? Let me check the sound is on real quick. Alright, so this is part 2 of my Heads Up series. This is Ollie once again. The first one was pretty long, so I'm going to try to make this one shorter, but I'm still going to try to put a lot of info and important things to talk about into this. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I was playing some cash on the side because it's tough when you're just one table, and we were 8 hands in apparently. I ended up recording a little late into this one. I guess it's kind of good because then, we're going to be, the video is going to be shorter. So this guy is 3xing. He's playing obviously a little different from the other guy who was limping. So versus 3x's, we're going to be tighter in calling, and we're going to be 3-betting more often than we would against a min raise. That's basically my adjustment against this guy pre-flop. But against ace jack, I think it's good enough to call or 3-bet. I think both options are totally fine, especially since we're this deep. How deep are we? Sorry. So what is that, like 80 big blinds or so? Okay, pretty okay flop. It's an okay spot to check raise. Okay spot to just check call as well. We blocked the nuts with jack 10. We have 4 outs to the nuts, which is good. But ace high could just be best hand. I don't know if I want to turn this hand to a bluff, so I like to call. 10 is obviously a great card. Once he checks back, we just, I think we just have to value bet. I don't think they check back a jack too often. So, and I think I probably 5-6. I think it's pretty good bet. I definitely want to go bigger because I'm not betting like anything worse than 2 pair. I'm probably betting 2 pair just because he doesn't have much jack kicks. So I definitely don't want to overbet because then it's just really tough to get called. But I'm still sticking to my mid-range strategy against this guy because I still want to see flops with him. Not a bad flop, not a good one. I do have the queen of diamonds, which is a good thing. I can barrel on a lot of good turn cards. A 9, jack, any diamond, queen obviously. So I have quite a few good cards that can come out for me. King 4. It's probably a fold, I think. It's really close. I got 1-4. I'm getting 2-1, but I expect his range to be tighter. And I don't know if King 4 is just gonna do well enough. Let's see. I'm getting 2-1. Let's say I have King of Hearts, 4 of Clubs, and he has. I mean, obviously his range is super tight because we're playing heads up, but I expect to be tighter than most players. Let's see. Maybe something like that just looks so tight. Like, there's just no way the guy's folding in like 5 suited, 7-5 suited. Let's see. I can't believe he would fold a suited queen. That seems ridiculous. Or any king. It just seems ridiculous to fold heads up. Like, it's only top 41% of hands, while I'm playing 100% of hands. Like, I just don't think it's possible that he's folding any of these hands. Let's see. Okay, I'm giving him a really tight range here, like absurdly tight range. I assume he's looser than this, but just for the sake of argument, I'm just going to give him that range. And King of Hearts, 4 clubs has 43% equity. So even against a 3x, King of Hearts, 4 clubs is actually a call. So it's actually a bad fold on my part. Wow. I thought I guess. Yeah, I guess my fold's a mistake. I actually thought that it would be a good fold, but King High just has a lot of value. The problem is it's gonna be hard to realize my equity a lot, especially with a hand King High, like just King High, because it's gonna be tough for me to call the flop a lot of the time. Especially as his range is gonna be tighter, so I'm not gonna be realizing a lot of this equity actually. So it's probably an okay fold actually because I might only have like 30 or 28% where we're at, considering how often I'm gonna realize my equity. So I think I'm actually okay with this fold. I was not liking it at first because I have so much equity, but at the same time, just not a hand that plays all that well. Alright, so we're back to even stacks, which is cool. Okay, 6-10 off. I assume I'm going to fold this hand. But You never know. And that's the first time we've seen him 3-bet us. I guess it's technically the second time in the match, but the first time we've seen it. Okay. So sorry about my phone going off. You guys hear that? 9-7 off. I'm definitely defending. That's an okay flop. It's a dicey board. I don't think you should be c-betting too often. I think the check rank is probably good. Let's see. I definitely don't want to value bet turn. There's just a lot of better hands I can have than a 9, but I definitely don't want to fold either. I expect him to bet a lot of hands here that I check back the flop with that he's trying to take it down with. The jack isn't that bad. If he bets, I'm probably just gonna check raise a lot of the time. No, I can't check raise because there's 3 hard, so I wouldn't check raise with a straight. But it's so hard for him to have a straight there, especially when he checks back flop. I expect a lot of his 10x to just bet with the equity he's gonna have there. So just because a card looks scary doesn't necessarily mean it is scary. That's something to think about. Yeah, Jack 3 off just not gonna play well at all, and has probably like 36% equity or something against his range. Okay, that's a pretty sweet flop for us. I definitely don't want to bet more than 220 here, because it's just such a dry board. I'm gonna bet like a lot. I'm probably not gonna bet my ace highs and some of my king highs. This check raise is probably pretty stupid, honestly. Like I was pretty happy to call here. The ace is not a great turn card, but I'm still gonna call. I just think his check raise is just full of shit. He looks like he's giving up. I'm trying to just check back and get the showdown. My hand isn't that strong. That's obviously a great river card for me. Looks like he's thinking about bluffing. I don't think it's horrible. Pause this real quick. So I don't think it's just like horrible. I think he have a lot of ace sex, yeah, or like mid pairs maybe that I peel a flop with, but and he's trying to replicate check raise with a 3, but like at the same time I have a 3, so it doesn't really matter. But if I had like 7s or something, I would be like pretty skeptical here. Because like most people are just not check raising a 3 here on flop ever. If he has a deuce, is he really gonna bet this big when I could very easily have a 3? Like it doesn't make too much sense. So I'm not a biggest fan of it. I think he should just probably give it up. I don't think he should check raise the flop at all though, really, with like any hands. I think if he has a deuce, he should just call. Let me improve somehow. If he has a 3, he should just call. If he has an ace high, he should just call. Like if he has a straight draw, he should call. Even if he like 4-6, he just call because he has overs to the board and a gutter. Like I just don't think there's a hand that he should be check raising with. Because if he has like 4-5 and he's check raising, and if I just pile on him, like what's a gross spot for him? Like he doesn't want to get it in that spot. I would like myself to make it like 3,200 just because he's just bluffing her so often, and if he has a 3, we're just choppy anyway. I don't expect him to make this bet with a deuce. I would like a click back basically on my part to try and induce a 3-bet jam by him. So I think I misplayed that hand, but only in the river. This is an okay hand to check raise actually, because I only have 1 overcard and I have no clubs, so I kind of like a check raise. He did bet 2/3 spots, but still I don't think it means too much. So ooh, let's go hit him with the check raise. These are the type of hands you want to check raise, like where like when I have a hand that has like jack seven, jack of clubs, I'm a lot less likely to check raise because I have a decent amount of equity on a lot of runouts. But this hand, I'm literally only drawing to like a 10, and the 10 of clubs maybe compromised, or like you could have like queen jack or like whatever, you know. Like I'm not drawing to the nuts. A jack is good, but it's not great. A 10 of clubs is good, but not great. Like calling here is it's just not a good spot for us. So these are good hands to have to check raise with. If I hit like queen 10 though, I do have a gutter, and if I had like queen 10 with no clubs, I would not check raise though because I have overcards. With the jack, I only have one overcard in a gutter, and the gutter with queen 10 is a gutter to the nuts as well. So just because that play didn't work, I still believe that was definitely the best way to play the hand. Don't be results oriented. Pretty good turn card for me. My C-bet was okay. It's not great, but I do have the backdoor flush draw, which gave me 7 cents in the C-bet and 550. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going bigger because I probably should have gotten even bigger than this because I'm pretty polarized here. So just like draws and like queen X. On the 6, I just gotta check back and lose pretty much. It's a pair is just too high in my range to bluff basically because I have like 9-10, king 10, king queen, king ace. I have ace king, I have ace 10, I have a whole bunch of hands. Any spade draw, you know. I have so many bluffs that having a pair is just not a great spot for me to be bluffing. Very easy peel. So I guess he does have kind of a bet sizing tell because last time he had it, he bet 2/3 pot, and this time he's betting half pot. So that's something to keep in mind. Like pick up on all these little things, and you'll have a pretty significant edge against your opponent. So I'm still gonna call because I expect him to have a lot of nonsense, or maybe he could just have like nuts as well. But I expect him to have a lot of nonsense here. All right, he checks back. We win. So our read is on point against this guy right now. That's because he bet 2/3 when he had it, and he bet half pot when he didn't. He just see with the flop with no backdoors really, some backdoor straight draws I guess, and then he turned a gutter and bet again. So that's something to keep in mind. With this 9, I don't really want to see bet. If I had like a stronger 9, I think I could see bet, but I usually check back a lot. Not a lot, but I check back. Well, when I'm playing 6 max or full ring, I check back a lot. But when I'm playing heads up, I check back a little more than most people, but still not quite as much. Like, because you're playing heads up, you have to play aggressively. There's only one guy that you're playing with, so you just can't be checking back every flop. I guess maybe you could, like, if you developed a strategy for it, but I'm not gonna worry about that for now, at least. Last night I was playing a lot of heads up sitting goes though, so I'm feeling pretty good about my heads up game. Okay, so he's about 20 big blinds deep right now. I just go for a non-exploitive shove. I think I just prefer a mid-raise against this guy. He hasn't really been 3-bet jamming too often, or just a limp because he has 20 big blinds. I think ace off is just, I mean, it's profitable, but just slightly profitable, I would prefer if I had like a small pair, much more than having ace deuce off there. Ace 7 off. This is better than having ace deuce off, I suppose. But and he's a little shorter now, so I like this a little more. But I don't know. When you get short, you just gotta shove a lot, I guess. I think that I don't really remember this match and all the hands, but I think it ends pretty quickly actually. Oh, is this the hand? Nope. You double him up. I guess it'll last a while. Okay, so he's still 3xing. Like I said, they're 3xing. I like shoving a lot more than calling with a lot of hands. So with against mid range, you can call a lot. Against 3x's, you can 3-bet them a lot. And having an ace blocker, and he just won a lot of chips. So I thought it was a good spot to attack his raise, because he doesn't want to go broke after doubling up. Basically, you know, he wants to keep some of those chips that he just won. So I'm going back to my limping strategy. First time I've implemented it here against this player. So he raises me, so I hope I'm not thinking about doing anything. Could shove, could call. I think both options are fine. I think calling with this hand is better just because he plays so well. The problem with shoving against a lot of these guys, it feels good in 3xing. It would be kind of a gross situation because like I'm kind of splitting my range here. If when I shove, because I'm not actually shoving monsters against for 30 big blinds over his 3x raise. So I'm shoving a lot of hands that I prefer to just take the possibility, you know. So if he was like solid, he could call with a lot of with a wider range than he would think. But so I'm kind of exploitable there. But at the same time, I just don't think that a lot of people on Bovada are just gonna know how to play correctly, pretty much. Also, like the problem with that obviously is like when he makes it 540 and I make like 1230, I'm probably just gonna be like so nutted, not nutted, but like nines plus probably or eights plus or something. So it's pretty easy for him to realize when my range is there, but I wasn't feeling too worried about that against this specific player. But it's just something to keep in mind. Um, on the turn, few bets again. I think calling and shoving are both close here. The reason why I think they're close here is because we saw him double barreled a turn gutter earlier. So I guess a lot of players are probably just call. But against this guy, I think he's just betting too often. I think that's just a clear leak that he probably has. Uh, so and considering he probably realizes that I know that he's betting too often, he might call off a little lighter if I shove here. So I think I can get called by worse hands here. It's usually just a very standard call for me, but I thought against this guy, like he might even call me with hands like 7-6, 7-8, 10-2, 10-3 if he has those, which he probably doesn't have those actually, but still 7-6, 7-8 he'll call. I think he's double barreling pretty much any draw here. I think he's double barreling any 6 here. If he folds a 6, it's not. It's like, you know, I'm indifferent to him folding a 6. If he folds, cool. You know, if he doesn't, that's fine too. I'm in pretty good shape. And then he could have hands like 6-9, Jack-8, Jack-9, and he has a lot of 6s too. If he has like Ace-6, King-6, Queen-6, Jack-6, 9-6, 8-6 would not be good for me. But and then he has diamond draws, and I think he's probably betting 7-6, 7-8, 7-9, maybe not 7-9, but 7-6 and 7-8 for sure. So I think I can get value from a lot of those hands. The problem is, I mean, he could always just have. He also has like 8-9 in his range for an open ender that he might bet. The problem is he obviously could have like 6-8 where I'm just drawing pretty thin to a chop, and he can also have like 10 Jack, 10-9, 10 Queen, 10 King, 10 Ace. But I think against this specific player, I'm okay with and not having a diamond in my hand, which makes it a little more likely that he could have a flush draw as well. It makes me want to shove against this guy. In general, though, I prefer a call, but in this exact spot, I think I like a shove. Oh, what's going on here? And I do decide to shove. And he has 7-8, and I'm able to hold, which is sweet. And he has 100 chips left, which basically gave us a W. I don't know what this green thing is that's popping up there. But good news is we end up winning this match right here. So I hope there's some interesting things that you guys like. Let's see how long this video was. 20 minutes. I think Evan will be a lot happier with the length of this video. Hold on one sec. Okay, so that was my third match, I believe. So I think I'm technically in the money now, which is cool. Obviously, the money was min cash was like probably like 60 something, 70 something bucks, so it's not all that relevant. But at the same time, it feels good to get in the money. For my general poker tip that I want to keep doing at the end of every video, I was thinking a good tip would be to have really good bankroll management. I know it's like stated a lot, but like I think it's very, very important, especially if you're trying to become a professional poker player or on your way to becoming a professional poker player or whatever. I think that having a good idea of what stakes you can play with your role and what stakes are, like what stakes not to play. I think knowing that and sticking to that is tough for a lot of people. But I think if you can do that, you have a much higher chance of being successful. If you're playing like a decent amount, if you're a tournament player, let's say, and if you're doing like an 80 buy-in rule basically for if you have like $800 or whatever, and you're playing $10 tournaments, I think that's okay. I think that's an okay role to have. But if you're playing higher stakes, I think you need more than like 100 buy-ins. Like if you're playing like $100 tournaments, if you have $8,000, I think there's a decent chance that you can go broke. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Cash games wise, I would recommend having about 100 buy-ins as well. Just because cash games do have a decent amount of variance. If you're a good player, you're going to win a little more often than you lose. But at the same time, losing 10 buy-ins in one day is very likely or could easily happen to you. So that's something I would advise for cash games. And yeah, I think just understanding bankroll management, having an idea of being safe with your role and just never going broke, I think it's a really important concept. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll come back with a third part for next time. Thanks for watching.